Welcome. We're good. Welcome. Welcome to the public hearing for the Brookline School District. The purpose of the public hearing is to gather public input on one of the petition warrant articles that will be voted on March 12th. So I'm going to read the petition warrant article. You'll see it as article number 10 on the warrant. Shall the Brookline School District, pursuant to RSA 194C1, create a planning committee to study the advisability of the withdrawal of the Brookline School District from SAU 41 in accordance with RSA 194C2, 5A, for its organization, operation, and control, and the advisability of constructing, maintaining, and operating a school administrative unit to serve the needs of the Brookline School District. So at this time, I will listen to testimony in favor.
My name is Eric Power, Westview Road, Brookline. I'm speaking in favor of this warrant article. I was a little disappointed at the public hearing that was held a little while ago where none of the petition warrant articles, including this one, had any public input, and the school board voted on what to do with all of them, and even ahead of this hearing, and then published the district report without hearing any input from the public. But I just want to make that point. I think this is a very good idea. We have an SAU that has had a budget that has gotten very large very quickly with the number of people and the pay levels. If you look at the proposed budget for FY25 and you look at the number of students SAU-wide, we're going to be spending about $1,016 per student for this overhead of the SAU. And I'm not convinced that that is for the Brookline School District is a good value. I think that this warrant article doesn't actually do a withdrawal, but it just looks at the options to see it basically there. It's a study committee to a planning committee to look at the options to see if it can be done any less expensive. I've looked at the data from the A12D from the Department of Education, and and that's, for those who aren't aware, that's the SAU staffing that's submitted every October for every SAU in the state. And our SAU has, it looks like that we lost it. There it goes.
Sorry.
This SAU has the most number of finance people of any SAU in the whole state, including more than Nashua and Manchester. I think there's some opportunity for some streamlining of that. We also have a superintendent who is currently number 2 in the state according to DOE data. And with the retirement of an Oyster River superintendent, he'll be number 1, pending any other big changes. So I think, we're a relatively small SAU. I think that this SAU is oversized, and I think that it makes sense to vote yes on this petition warrant article because I think it will expose or confirm what we're getting for the SAU. And the other thing I wanted to mention is there's been some comments about the intent of this article about breaking up the co-op, and that is none of the people that were part of this, and myself included, don't look at breaking up the co-op. This isn't a step. This is a step at looking at efficiencies in the SAU because we are spending a lot of money. This is not about getting out of the co-op. It gets couched that way sometimes, but it's not. So I just want people to be aware of that. This is just looking at the costs and looking at the potential streamlining for the Brookline pre-K to 6 school district. I just think that over $1,000 per student pre-K to 12 for the SAU is excessive. So I hope everyone will vote yes on this petition article, and thank you very much.
Thank you. Is there any other testimony in favor? Okay. Is there any testimony in opposition?
My name is Peter Cook, 10 Main Street, Brookline, New Hampshire. I also happen to be chair of the Board of Assessors for Brookline, amongst other things. and I've lived in town since 1979. So I've seen the huge growth of this area. We're still a small town, but we've grown from being tiny. We've grown from tiny to small. So there's a lot of concern I've begun to hear in the last year or two about budgets of every flavour, and I think we're paying for the cost. It's the cost of the growth, and that's all I have to say. It's a very general point.
Thank you.
Good evening, Casey Petronellis, 7 Smith Road, Brookline. I am just speaking in opposition of this. I know this has come up in the past, and I just don't think it is realistic and cost-effective. I think this continues to come up each year, and it seems to be intentionally confusing to citizens, and I think a lot of folks didn't even know this was going on tonight, so I think it will be a surprise to voters. And just wanted to reiterate that I do not support this. Thank you.
Thank you. I will allow for testimony in favor one more time. Seeing no new people, I'm going to allow for testimony in opposition. Okay, thank you so much for your time. Thank you for showing up. It is rare that we have attendees for our petition warrant article public hearing, so thank you very much. And I'm going to close the public hearing at 6:37. Thank you.
Thank you.
You as well.
Good night. Thanks for coming.
All done.
Lights are back on.
Back on.
Thank you.
Hi.
So we were just about to close, so I will give you the opportunity, I will read the petition warrant article one more time and give you the opportunity to speak for or against. Shall the Brookline School District, pursuant to RSA 194C1, CI, create a planning committee to study the advisability of the withdrawal of the Brookline School District from SAU 41 in accordance with RSA 194C2 4A for its organization, operation, and control, and the advisability of constructing, maintaining, and operating a school administrative unit to serve the needs of the Brookline School District. So this was submitted by petition and will appear as Article number 10 on the warrant.
So what do I need to just
Just say your name and your address.
Okay, so Johanna Shriver Halligan. I live at 17 Birch Hill Road. So I'm here to speak against this warrant article. I think, a lot of discussion has been had, especially about taxes and budgets and how that's been impacting everybody. And I just think with that in mind and how people have identified that that's been a struggle and taxes have been really high, I'm not sure that having to talk about opening a new school, staffing a new school, building a new school, all of those things are going to raise taxes. They're not going to bring them down. On top of that, I think our teachers are working as hard as they can already, and finding more teachers is going to be a huge burden. I obviously have an investment in the school district, right, with my daughter here, and I think it's important to just make sure that we're actually putting our funds, as limited as they are with what we're all trying to get, into what we have right now. So I just don't see this being a positive for our community. I don't see this being a positive for our educational system, and I just don't think it's fair to the kids to have that kind of disruption to their learning. I think, there's a system in place right now, and we would basically be pulling kids away from friends and that's just, at that age, that middle school, high school age, I don't think that that's in their best interest. So definitely not in favor of this. I really just think that this is short-sighted, and if we could stop bringing it up every year, that would be great. It'd be awesome. So that's my thoughts on that.
Thank you so much. I'll give everyone an opportunity one more time. Oh, okay. Go for it.
Brady Halligan, 17 Birch Hill. Ignore the jacket. I'm on my way to training. Speaking against the article, I come from a background where a number of my family members attended extremely rural Iowa public schools, so I am familiar with extremely small school districts. And the smaller you make the school district, the harder it is to get quality teachers, especially for honors and AP type stuff at the high school level. In the state of Iowa, this is 25 years ago, but they actually had to have virtual classrooms and pool together resources of multiple school districts to get one class of AP calculus or whatever it would be. That would require teachers at every individual school. We're talking 25-year-old video conferencing technology, all sorts of other things that create additional cost in addition to everything that's been said about duplicate administrations. That's a cost, duplicate things. And additionally, of course, since the co-op is in Hollis, we would get zilch, zip, zero, nada if we left. So that would be an enormous cost that the town would have to burden. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
You did it.
The final opportunity for testimony in favor or opposition. Okay.
3-year-old wants to.
So we will close this once again at 6:41. Thank you so much for attending.